I'm no good. I'll never be any better. That could be the thoughts of you if you have a low self-esteem, because according to Orse and Robbins researchers, they've looked at adolescence through to the 20s and early adulthood, where self-esteem is growing and it peaks at about 50 years of age. And then in old age, believe it or not, it's similar to adolescence where it wanes down. So how can we fix it? We fix it by self-awareness. The first step in addressing low self-esteem is to recognize and acknowledge its presence. And therein, that piece of research just gives you a fantastic scope at which to look out for the drop in your self-esteem. Now, fixing it involves identifying negative thoughts and beliefs about oneself, about yourself. Think of your physical body. If we think of the trajectory there of what the researchers said, we can see how adolescents have often huge problem with their body image, how we develop sometimes very awkwardly. One part of the body grows longer, faster than the other, and then it catches up eventually in our adulthood. And in old age as well, you become more decrepit and stooped over, and wrinkles, grey hairs, and so on begin to show. So being more aware of your changes in your body and, of course, in your mind, these negative thoughts are huge. Identify triggers as well. Really important. Why? Because triggers will push you towards feelings of having these negative thoughts in the first place. So pay attention to any situations or feelings of being around the wrong people who look at you just for your looks, look and address you just because of a certain age group. Ageism is another thing. So understand these triggers and know that individually and collectively you can develop coping strategies. Collectively, of course, with people maybe your own age, or people who have a lower self-esteem, if there's a group out there, a support group, and know that your underlying issues of the triggers that can come along can contribute to negative self-perception as well. Challenge yourself. Challenge negative thoughts by reframing them. If you can reframe them, just kind of tilt them a little away, and then you'll see them from like a 3D version from a different angle. And you'll know that maybe not everybody sees you in this way. And in fact, maybe people see your depth, your wisdom, your maturity, and all the different things. Even as an adolescent, you might be mature and have more depth than somebody that's 20 years older than you, for sure. Instead of accepting self-critical thoughts about your value, question the accuracy and the objective validity. So think, hey, is there proof? People say I'm stupid, but am I actually stupid? I'm passing all my tests in school. So how could I be actually seen as stupid? Look for evidence that contradicts negative beliefs and replace them then with more realistic and positive affirmations. Take it from where you are to where you can improve naturally or with the ability that you're God-given, that you have rightfully. Another one is to build self-compassion. Start by perhaps looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, this is what I am. Here's the age I'm at. Here's the status I'm at. Here's where my relationships are at. Now, what do I want to change? Think about it. Have a conversation with yourself in the mirror and think about that. And then sprinkle it with kindness, understanding, and acceptance of where you are at the moment. Give yourself logical aims and goals to go forward with. Regard your self-esteem, especially in moments of failure or self-doubt. You have to cushion that belief. You are with yourself 24/7, 7 days a week, 12 months a year, all the years of your life. So you need that acceptance. You need to recognize that everybody makes mistakes. We all do. And we do have setbacks. There's roadblocks in the way, and we have to be able to accept that, to build and reframe things for ourselves. When I say to, even as an older person, when that self-esteem perhaps is crumbling or challenging yourself, that you must have goals. They can be small, minute, and short-term goals, but you have to set realistic ones. If you do, then these, even if they're larger and longer term, you can break them down into subsets, smaller types of goals in that they're more achievable steps, and celebrate each one of them because you are making progress. Remember, your self-esteem is largely surrounded by self-perception. So any progress along the way is self-assessed, even if you're objectively thinking about things Setting realistic goals helps build confidence and a thing called self-efficacy, which can give you that sense of accomplishment and knowing that, hey, I'm good here. I can go forward in some way. Because at the end of it all, this is what we want to do. We want to focus, and that's the next thing, on our strengths. By focusing on our strengths, we're identifying what it is that I am good at. My talents, my innate abilities, perhaps my abilities mentally, the strength I have with regard to things, the way I can think about certain things or talk about certain things, even if you're aging and your body is wilting a little bit on you. So look at those strengths, look at your relationships, the things that you've invested in over the years, draw off those in later years or in years when you feel that you don't have that self-esteem. When you're younger, of course, perhaps look at your dreams, look at your physical abilities, what you can do to change things. You have that energy going forward. If you have a goal and you are taking action, even if you are failing, you are further forward than everybody else, because by failing, you are learning, and by learning, you're building a huge ability to be more resilient in the future. Have people around you as much as possible at all times that would give you support. Seek it if you're not receiving it. It is worth a lot of money by having the right people in your corner. So reach out to friends, family members, tell them how you feel. Try to get that empathy piece going on. By giving, you will receive. If you give of yourself and share where you're at in a certain moment, there will be somebody out there that will put their arms around you, if only emotionally, if only momentarily, and come in and say, like, okay, you're at this point now, we want to move forward. Let's try and make a plan here. And that's a goal. That's a way of strategizing. Practice self-care. Prioritize this because it activates physical, emotional, mental wellness and well-being by exercising, even if you're growing older, to your capabilities, by eating a better diet and having and making sure you have the proper sleep, and knowing that stresses and strains will come your way. So therefore have relaxation techniques that you can draw upon, and even hobbies, distractions, things that will give you fulfillment and a helping hand along the way. Limit your negative influences too, because negativity is not required, especially if you are feeling that the self-esteem is on the wane. You deserve better. You can do better by putting all of these things into your concoction of proactive well-being. You'll be able to develop a better self-esteem. And if not, seek professional help, medical people, and so on that are out there certified, qualified, and well experienced. And for next time, please do hit the subscribe button, and I will do my very best to help you too. Until next time, though, please do have a wonderful day.